Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Monday Lunchtime Digest. Our leader, Micah, is dealing with an air conditioning issue at the office today, so you are just with me today. I appreciate you all joining me this afternoon. Happy Monday, happy Monday. Hopefully you all enjoyed the little taste of fall we had in the OKC Metro this weekend. I spoke to my sister out in western Oklahoma, and they received 4 inches of rain in one day, which is unreal. So hopefully you all got a little break from the heat and a little bit of rain yourself. And so there are lots of exciting things happening at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute this week. A few things to start off. So our winter webinar weekend is filling up. Our winter and fall training season is filling up too. Just to remind you, in 3 weeks, we will have the first training in our webinar series. We're going to kick it off with Dr. Christine Coleman on Saturday, September 7th. She'll be talking about ethics and working with the Latinx community and families. And so feel free to send me an email or send us a text at 405-440-3034 if you have any questions on that, or go to counselinginstitute.org to sign up today. Also, make sure to go to counselinginstitute.org if you're interested in joining any of our learning collaboratives. So we'll have 2 learning collaboratives starting off on September 9th. So that is 4 weeks from today. We'll have Dr. Scott Secor joining us bright and early, 8:30 in the morning. He'll be doing a consultation collaboration meeting with us on the topic of acceptance and commitment therapy. And so if you have ever been interested in learning about acceptance and commitment therapy and you'd like a little more training on that, feel free to go to counselinginstitute.org and register today. Our space is very limited, and so make sure you sign up soon. Also, starting September 9th at 10:30 a.m., we will have our old friend, Dr. Kayla Black, joining us. Dr. Black will be doing another written exposure therapy learning collaborative. And so that, again, will start on September 9th. Dr. Black received stellar feedback during his last collaboration he did with us earlier this year. And so I think we'll be in for a great treat. So if you've been interested in learning more about acceptance and commitment therapy, or interested in learning about written exposure therapy as a treatment for PTSD and trauma-related disorders, feel free to send us an email, send us a text, and sign up today. And so that's what's going on in the world of the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. Oh, also, we are hiring. And so if you are looking for a change in your employment, or if you're looking to pick up a part-time gig, send us an email, hello@edmondcounseling.com, or go to oklahomacounselingjobs.com, and you'll find our job application. We'll be very happy to look over your application, hopefully schedule an interview, because we are hiring, but I hope to hear from you all soon. And so that's what's going on in the world of Oklahoma Counseling Institute. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of mental health. And so we have some positive news this week. So one of them is, according to CBS, there in the year 2023, 1/3 of adolescents in the United States between the ages of 12 and 17 received mental health care. And so why I think this is positive news is that, according to the report, the rate of mental illness, the rate of depression, had not necessarily increased in 2023, but the rate of access to services did. And so mental health treatment was defined as either receiving medication or mental health therapy, and both of those had increased. And so I think that it is the increase in therapists and access to mental health care, whether that's be through telehealth or through the Biden-Harris grants. I also think that it is a reduction in stigma that has made it easier for folks to talk about their mental health and easier for them to ask for treatment. And so that seems to be a good thing, that folks are having an easier time accessing mental health care. And other good news, so Zimbabwe has launched a mental health care plan. So this is from the AP, the Associated Press. And so in Zimbabwe, it has been very difficult for folks to be able to access treatment. One, because there is such a low amount of mental health counselors and psychiatrists. And two, because there is a lot of stigma about reaching out. Maybe there's a lot of distrust with the medical community. And so whenever folks need mental health care, typically they might reach out to family members and whatnot. But with urbanization, families are more separated. Pillars in the community maybe aren't as easily accessed. And so what they were seeing was that there's an increase in mental health concerns in Zimbabwe, but not necessarily an increase in access to treatment. And so what clinicians have been doing is they have been setting up benches in community centers. So whether it's outside churches or outside grocery stores or other community hubs, and they have been training grandmothers. So grandmothers have always been seen as pillars of the community. They've always been seen as sources of wisdom. And so they've been training grandmothers in basic mental health interventions. They've been teaching them how to paraphrase and reflect, how to engage in problem solving, and how to teach coping strategies. And so these grandmothers, they've been able to sit at the benches. And so folks know that these are benches that they can go sit on if they're having mental health crises, or if they are experiencing depression or anxiety, or just need mental health care in general. And so what they found is that these grandmothers have been very helpful in checking in with folks too. So they not only see them on the benches, but they'll check in with them afterwards. And that has led to a reduction in mental health crises in the communities in which these grandmothers are placed. And it's wonderful because New York City is actually taking notes from this, and they have implemented what's called friendship benches. And so it's kind of the same thing. They have these benches set out in community areas. Of course, they're in more discreet location, but they're training lay folks to be able to sit on these benches and just offer support, offer guidance, maybe even refer to mental health care if necessary. And so these programs are really incorporating the community to be able to provide that support for folks whenever maybe mental health care is not easily accessible or just isn't around at all. And so I wanted to bring a couple of positive news stories this week. So I thought that was great. We'll be linking those in the comments below. Again, that one is from the Associated Press. The first one is from CBS. And so that's what's going on in the world of mental health. Let's talk about our winner for this week. I can't hear my drum roll. My husband's the drummer. I am not. So it's probably a good thing you can't hear my drum roll. So this week's winner is Amy Hoisman. Amy is an old friend of the show. Thank you, Amy, so much for commenting and liking last week's post. And so, Amy, I know that you have won a $10 gift card. And so I don't know what that $10 gift card is because Mike is not here and he has them all the treasures in his desk. And so we'll be sending you a thank you card and a $10 gift card pretty soon. If you'd like to be like Amy and you'd like to be entered into next week's drawing, what I'd like you to do is either like this post, share this post, or comment on this post. Every time you do one of those three things, you get another chance to win. And so drawings happen every week in the Monday Lunch Digest. And every time you like, every time you share, every time you comment, not only do you get a chance to win, but you also help us grow. You help us to spread the word, help to feed the algorithm, which helps us be able to provide quality continuing education to Oklahoma mental health professionals and beyond. And so this week's question was inspired by the weather this weekend. And so being that we had a little bit of a taste of fall, I thought that I would go ahead and look up, when does Starbucks release their pumpkin spice latte? I'm just a little bit basic, so sometimes I do look forward to the pumpkin spice latte. And I was really shocked because I was thinking that it would be sometime in September, but it releases next week in August. August 22nd is when the pumpkin spice latte releases from Starbucks. And so my question for this week might be very divisive, but I'm very curious what your opinion is. Tell me, is August too early for the pumpkin spice latte? Give me a yes, give me a no, let me know in the comments. Not only do I want to hear your opinion, I also want you to be entered into the drawing for next week's prize. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll hope to see you again next week. Take care and have a great week.